Are people getting lost in your VR experiences? How do we keep that from happening? In this video, I'll be diving a little deeper into wayfinding in XR, so let's go ahead and get started. As I've mentioned in my best practices article, Wayfinding in XR, virtual worlds can be overwhelming due to all of the things that fight for your attention. Also, since they're in a brand new space, they can easily get lost, just like we do in the real world when we're in an unfamiliar part of town or a new city. In the real world, we usually rely on our GPS and a Maps app. We can apply that same principle to the digital world, except in the digital world, we have a lot more possibilities for creative solutions. Video games have been providing in-world wayfinding for decades as a way to help people get around unfamiliar spaces or find their next objective. Similarly, providing in-world wayfinding in our XR experiences is a good way to direct people and help them find their next objective. We can study how 2D video games have been solving this problem to get inspiration into how to solve them for our XR experiences. The biggest difference, though, is that if you're creating for head-mounted displays, you're going to need to translate those 2D game HUDs into 360-degree, three-dimensional world space. I've also found in my research that wayfinding is especially useful for training simulations since you want them to focus on certain areas, often in a specific order. So if you're working on training simulations, have a guided path for them to follow to make sure they go through all the lesson points. Once they've successfully completed a step, light up the path for the next point, especially if this is how they'd be doing it in real life. For example, if they're in manufacturing and they need to walk a perimeter for safety rounds, set up wayfinding to support this during training. Also show a visual indicator for points that have already been completed. If you would like to continue getting free content like this, be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you have a moment, comment in the videos. That will really help me know what's important to you as I create more content. Now on to the example. AltSpace VR is a social VR experience that lets you hang out virtually with other people in various digital worlds. When you first log into the experience, a tutorial walks you through a set of steps and a guided tour of your home space or home world, which is a rooftop apartment. They use spatial audio and animated bouncing arrows to direct your attention to the next location. The pattern used for the bouncing arrow matches your teleportation target bezier as further reinforcement that you can teleport here. A sign also appears telling you to go to the bouncing arrow, at which point you're given a task to accomplish. Once you successfully complete the task at that location, the next bouncing arrow appears. This is a great example of both wayfinding in-world and guiding someone through a tutorial for training purposes. This app is available for free on all Oculus platforms, Steam VR, and in 2D mode on the PC through Steam. When you first launch the app, they give you the option to go through the tutorial. If you're already experienced with AltSpace VR, you can still access the tutorial through the main menu. I highly encourage you to check it out for yourselves. I've included the link in the show notes. You can also see more examples of how other people have solved this problem by checking out the pattern library on my website. The link's in the show notes. So for a quick recap, keep the wayfinding subtle yet distinctive so that it doesn't add visual noise. Use the participant's current position to trigger the next wayfinding cue. Make the wayfinding diegetic, or a part of the world, when feasible to increase immersion. Don't overwhelm people with too many visual wayfinding cues at once. Don't obscure the person's view of the environment with the cues. Although there aren't good examples of head-mounted, augmented, and mixed reality experiences readily available or easily accessible by the general public at the time of making of this video, they are on the way. These general guidelines can be applied to those platforms as well. I'd like to say thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. It really does mean a lot and makes a big difference. Creating this content takes a lot of time, money, and effort, so your support helps me to continue creating educational content like this. Becoming a patron also gives you access to our private Discord server, gives you early access to these videos, and gives you access to exclusive content not available anywhere else. If you'd like to become a patron, check out the link tree in the show notes.